Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. It's your boy Mike D, aka DDE80, aka 13th Wonder of the World, aka Mike DZ. I am back. Thank you for joining me for the point of view. Been a rough day. Been a tough day, but I'm here with y'all this afternoon. Shout out to the Point Place family. Shout out to Bobby Reezy. Shout out to M Breezy. Shout out to Vaya. Shout out to my sister. Love all y'all. Thank y'all for listening to me today on a point of view. First of all, I want to give my condolences, RIP, to the great Richard Roundtree, aka Shaft. For those of you that don't know who Shaft is, you might just know him, Samuel Jackson, as Shaft, but before Samuel Jackson, there was Richard Roundtree as Shaft. And I knew that the movie came out in the 70s, but I watched it in the 80s and the 90s. And Shaft was a bad man. Shut your mouth, John Shaft, that's him. He's going to be forever missed for that role. I think he was like 81 years old when he passed. But, God bless his soul. God bless his family. God bless his family and his friends and all his fans. I just want to give my condolences to Richard Roundtree, aka Shaft. There'll never be another great Shaft like Richard Roundtree, the original. We know that Samuel Jackson is the other Shaft, but Richard Roundtree is the great Shaft, ladies and gentlemen. So, R.I.P. to him. Last night NXT's recap was a alright Halloween Havoc Part 1. Shout out to Chase U for winning the WWE NXT Tag Team titles over Stax and D'Angelo, which I thought that could have possibly happened. I'm proud of Andre Chase finally, him and Duke Hudson finally getting the recognition that they deserve in NXT. What a great match they had, and they were able to win the tag team titles. They beat out some great tag teams. Speaking of great tag teams, next week on Halloween Havoc Part 2, you're going to see the match between Roberto and Angel versus the Creed brothers. That's going to be a match in a TLS match, table, ladders, and stairs match. Also, like I keep telling you guys, the evidence of what's happened to Trick Williams comes to Carmelo Hayes. You're going to find out next week, did Carmelo Hayes attack Trick Williams? And I guarantee you that the mystery of that's going to be solved next week on NXT. We're going to find that out as well. Great matches. Blair Underwood won her. Not Blair Underwood, excuse me. Shout out to the great Blair Underwood, the actor. Blair Davenport, won her match against Gigi Dolan. I hope that's the end of that chapter of that rivalry that they got, because people are tired of seeing that as well. Also, Roxanne Perez beat Kiana James. It's going to be Kalani Jordan versus Lola Vice in the finals for the women's breakout tournament. Now, there's supposed to be a men's breakout tournament soon, as well as the Dusty Cup. So that's coming soon as well. What else happened on there? Braun Breaker up there still talking. It's going to be Braun Breaker versus Robert Stone next week. But I tell you this, guys, Robert Stone knows how to wrestle. He was a wrestler in TNA. And so he's gonna put up a fight, but he's not gonna be able to beat them like that. So we'll see what happens with that taking place and how that goes down as well. I want to talk about the big match though. The main event match. Congratulations to Valkyrie, Lyra Valkyrie. I want to say her name, for becoming the NXT champion. And a lot of people are asking, why did Becky Lynch lose that match? I'm going to tell you why she lost that match. Because it's time for her to go back to the main roster and focus on other stuff. This is why I keep saying that WWE needs a women's mid-card title. Singles, not the tag team, because the tag team is great. You're going to see, the girls of Chase U now, Thea and JC, go up against Chelsea and Piper Niven. That's going to be a big tag match set for next week on NXT. Do not be surprised if Chase U wins those girls of Chase U wins the tag team titles, the WWE tag team titles. Do I think that they're ready to defend on Raw and SmackDown? They could possibly be, but it's time for Chelsea and Piper to start defending those titles, and that's going to be a huge big match. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is AEW Dynamite. I still don't know the format for tonight. You're just going to have to tune in and see it. But back to Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch did exactly what they wanted her to do. She defended the NXT title on Raw and on NXT. So now Lyra Valkyrie finally get that push that Rhea Ripley was talking about a few months ago to her on camera. So she gets the push now. Now, also Tiffany Stratton and Fallon Henley, I think that's her name, they're going to be going at it. Does Tiffany Stratton get back to the top of the title? Could possibly be. But you're going to have to tune in to see where her storyline goes. That's exactly what I keep telling you guys. The thing about it is this. When you're in wrestling, the cycle of the sport moves on. The cycle of the rivalries move on. There are other people that you look at and see, are they competitive or not? And that's exactly what I see when it comes down to what happens between, Lyra Valkyrie and whoever she's gonna be contending for that title for her. But I don't think Chase U's gonna be champion long, tag team champions long. I think either the Creed brothers or Stax and D'Angelo probably gonna win the titles back. The thing that I want to know is, will Stax and D'Angelo be ready for the main event roster? Because they are main event ready. They're ready to make an impact on Raw or on SmackDown in the tag team division. That's my thoughts on that. That's my thought on that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, the NBA started back last night. The Lakers, and I know it's just one game, but they looked it okay, but they were not the way that they should have been. They should have been crisp and ready to have it on their mind. LeBron James scored more points than anybody out there. Anthony Davis only had 17 points. Anthony Davis is the star of the Lakers now. He's the number one guy. He's got to do better on the court. And that's just my thought about that. Congratulations to Joker and Murray and all those boys for doing what they did last night to win. But I'm here to tell you, it comes down to what AD does as well. They're trying to get them all in. Gabe Vincent had a bad game. I know this is his first game with the Lakers, but he's got to get himself together. So we'll see what happens when the Lakers play the Suns the next game. I think it's the Suns that they play against on Friday or Thursday, one of those days tomorrow. We'll have to see what happens. Also, the Suns, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker are not playing with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and those boys. The Warriors played the game as close as they could play, but they did not win when it mattered, folks. And that's the closing of the game. And I'm telling you like this here. The Suns are on a mission. The Suns are on a mission to win, folks. And you're going to see what I'm talking about when they start playing. The Warriors are going to be in the playoffs. The Warriors are going to be there. CP3, he's got to get adjusted to playing with Steph. But you're going to see what I'm talking about. You're going to see a lot from those guys. Those guys are going to be ready to play soon. And you're going to see what I'm talking about. Tonight, the Celtics and the Knicks play. An old rivalry game, Boston versus New York. Wow, they got the Celtics winning, but the Knicks can possibly win this game, folks. You know, the Knicks still have most of their players. They still have Randall. They still have Bronson. They still have Josh Hart. They still have R.J. Barrett, if I'm not mistaken. They still have their guys out there. The Celtics have a whole new roster team, but they still got, Horford, Tatum, Pritchard, Brown, and now they got Drew Holiday. What Drew Holiday is going to do, he's going to be a great defender for them, but he's also going to push out at least 5 or 6 assists a game because Drew Holiday can pass the ball. He can also shoot, and he's a guy, a guard that can rebound at times. So you're going to see what happens with him gelling with, the boys, the dynamic duo of Brown and Tatum. Jaylen Brown, who they overpaid in my book, but I'm glad that he got the bag. Now he has to prove to everybody he has the bag. Also, you're going to see games like Houston versus Orlando, if I'm not mistaken, Detroit and Miami. How is the Heat going to look now that they don't have Strus and Gabe Vincent? Because those guys were very important to them last year. But they still got Buckets, Jimmy Buckets. They still got Bam. They still got, Hero and Duncan Robinson. And those boys right there that can make something happen for the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat now, no excuse, because they are a contending team that can win a championship. So we're going to see what happens with them. The Clippers as well. The Clippers are back with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook. Those are the 3 guys they got right now. They're their core 3 that can make something happen. We're going to see what they do against a revamped Portland now that Dame Lillard is in Milwaukee, and also as well as seeing what Ayton and, Scoot and what, what's the other guy? Jeremy Grant can do for their team. They're in a rebuilding mode. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, also the first game of the season is a rivalry game between, it's going to be Luka versus Wemby. You're going to see Kelvin Johnson up against Kyrie Irving, So Kyrie and Kelvin are going to play, and you're going to see Luka versus Wemby. This is the first game of Wemby's career. I don't think that the Spurs are going to win because Dallas is the better team. But I will say this. Wemby has a chance to put a stamp on it and let Luka know this is why I'm in the NBA. And we're going to see what happens tonight. Luka and the Mavericks and the Kyrie, they have a chip on their shoulder because last year they did not make the playoffs at all. They were out of playoff contention because it just didn't gel for them yet. They did not know how to play with each other. So now that they have a full season over them, they have a possibility to prove to everybody, hey, we're good as what people think we are. So we'll see what happens with Luka, and we'll see what happens with Kyrie this year as Dallas gets ready to play their first game of the season. It's some great NBA games on the night, folks. The Rockets, the brand new rip of the Rockets. We're gonna see what Dylan Brooks can do with him and Fred VanVleet can do in Houston. We'll see what they do. You know what I'm saying? What Pichero, what he had going on this year with the Magic. Can he get the Magic as a playoff team this year? It's a lot of moving parts in the NBA, folks. And the thing about it is, your team has got to be ready. And then they're coming, and shout out to them from having I don't know if it's the midseason tournament or the tournament that's coming up or whatever. The Golden State Warriors could possibly win that season tournament or whatever it is. They have a tournament coming up in the NBA this season before the playoffs and the bubble. The play-in game, The Diamondbacks and the Texas Rangers are going to play for the World Series. I'm supposed to be going to Houston Friday, so we'll see what happens with that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, the other thing I want to talk about is what's going to happen with, you know, the Diamondbacks. Can the Diamondbacks stop the Rangers? The high price hitting of the bat of the Rangers is going to be something serious against the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are very competitive, folks. And these are two wild card teams that is in the mix for the World Series. And not only that, I'm very happy that it's going to be the Texas Rangers. Also, I want to give a shout out to Dusty Baker because Dusty has done a phenomenal job with the Astros. He is announcing that he has retired from the Houston Astros as well as the organization of Major League Baseball. I don't know what he's going to do now. I don't know who's going to be their new boss, their new manager of the Astros. That's another question that they have to deal with now, coming off of not going back to the World Series. Dusty did a phenomenal job with those boys. Dusty did exactly what they needed to do to get them to the price, to get them to what they need to get to. So shout out to Dusty for doing that for them. I'm very proud of Dusty, very proud of the team, hoping now that everything is everything with them. So we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen, with the Astros as well. Not only that, like I said, I'm gonna be. I can give you an update on some of the pods that are coming up from me, from the point of view. Part 2 of the Michael Jackson top 10 songs. My favorite top 10 songs is coming. Also, a WWE straight WWE podcast, which would be the question about who had the greatest undefeated streak. Was it Goldberg from WCW, or was it Oscar in NXT? That's futures, future talks. Also, I want to do a special for my boy Bobby Reezy. I want him to listen, and I want him to think, to see if I'm on point of what I'm saying. Just a tribute to him. A guy that I've been knowing for a long time, a very great guy. He's like a little brother to me. I want to show him nothing but respect and love for him giving me opportunity to do these podcasts point of view. I'm very consistent, working on some music as well, working on something, to start up the starter kit and to help other people with their albums as well. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, but tomorrow is basketball. College football also comes on tonight. I think it's Jacksonville State, or somebody plays tonight. Sam Houston State plays tonight as well. Of course, NHL. I don't really talk about hockey, but a certain someone, she likes the Vegas team and the Tampa Bay Lightning. There's two of her favorite teams. I don't really have a team, to be honest with you. I just look at it, and good luck on you guys on your bets tonight, on your prize picks. I'm hoping that they hit for you. Kind of hit some of my picks did hit last night, folks. Denver did win. Phoenix did win. Everybody wins every now and then. I want everybody to win every night on these prize picks, especially now that the NBA season is back in. So good luck with that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, good luck with your day on Hump Day. I know Wednesday's almost gone. I know Dynamite's going to come on in about 50 minutes. I want you all to enjoy wrestling, basketball, hockey, whatever sport that you're watching tonight football, college football as well. I want everybody to know that you're still here for a purpose. I want everybody to know that I am trying to become a better man at everything that I do. I want to win in everything I do. Thank you somebody for telling me that. But I want to win in everything I do, especially with this here, to where I can get to the point where it's advanced and everything is straight, you know. And me and my boy Bobby Reezy and the Point Place family coming in with the money, that we could be conglomerate, big, you know what I'm saying? Just try to do what we need to do to get by and try to, feed for our families. That's the main course now, to feed for your families. If you don't feed for your families, then you're not going to do anything that you're supposed to do. So I'm here with it. Shout out to everybody. God bless you. God keep you. Have a good night. Like I say, enjoy your sports. I'll be back on tomorrow with the recap. Impact Wrestling comes on tomorrow. We're going to go through the fallout of what happened at Bound for Glory. I think it was Bound for Glory, the pay-per-view they just had, with them going back to TNA, which is big because everybody's going to want to watch the product again. There's still talks about CM Punk could possibly be coming to TNA. We want to see if that happens. I'm here with the questions. I'm here with it. DJ Fadeaway, shout out to DJ Fadeaway. He knows that I'm trying to do the top list on a couple of wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? I love professional wrestling. Like I said, I was a wrestler at one time. Doing a couple of stunts and stuff. But I don't even think my body could take that right now. So shout out to everybody. God bless you. God keep you. Have a good night. Enjoy your Wednesday.